I forgot to mention this in my reply video I did to Alex to his a video on how AEW is currently dull right now. I forgot to bring this up because, of course, I did the video kind of at a very late, early hour, if you will. But that's all I'm going to say. But I basically thought about saying, and I didn't get a chance to say it, is that when you look at basically the way people view AEW right now, the truth, and how they rather watch WWE or anything else than AEW, you know what it also tells me? You know what that also tells me, folks? It also tells me that people would rather watch, and this is the absolute truth, in my opinion, they would rather watch somebody's created wrestling league, in that time slot that AEW comes on in their market. They'd rather watch a CAW league over AEW Dynamite. They'd rather watch a CAW league for an hour if they don't have no plans on Friday night over Rampage. They'd rather watch, if they don't have no plans on Saturday night, they'd rather watch 2 to 3 hours of a CAW league over Collision. That's basically how a lot of people, including Alex, are viewing AEW right now. Them being in a position to where fans would preference created wrestling leagues that are created using, video games like the WWE 2K23 game or the AEW Fight Forever game or some of the new upcoming games. They'd rather enjoy sitting down with a beer in hand or hot cocoa or whatever and watching those events over AEW. Because right now AEW is not where it should be. It's not hitting its stride. It's not, basically stepping up to the plate and showing no fear to someone like Triple H and WWE. They're not putting the emphasis they need to put into their product. And that's bad. That is very, very bad. As I check something, that's very bad. I mean, and here's the thing, you have a multitude of created wrestling leagues out there. You have CAW Champions League, CCL, Destiny Championship Alliance, DCA. You have CSEA. You have CAS, CAW All-Stars. You have VWU, Virtual Wrestling United. I think that's what it's called. And many others. You even have mine, DCWA, and a friend of mine's, ANDW. People would rather watch those events, those weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or bi-monthly shows, and those CPVs, if you will, which is, a creative way of saying created per view, basically CPV being a creative wrestling term for pay-per-view, special event, PLE. They would rather watch those things over Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. And that again, like I said, is a fact. That is a fact. And everybody watching this, including, if I'm going to send this to Alex, including Alex would agree that, people would rather watch CAW leagues over, what AEW is doing right now. They'd rather watch CAW leagues that are a hybrid of original characters and, characters from anime, manga, Western animation, European animation, comics, live action, video games, you name it. DeviantArt, you name it. They'd rather watch Ink Bunny, inkbunny.net, you name it. They'd rather watch those kind of leagues over what AEW is doing right now. They would. Because AEW is not what it used to be. It's not, what it was. It's not being the alternative it said it should be. Or it was promised it would be. It's lacking now. It's lacking now because why? Because they sold out Wembley Stadium, and like I said in my reply video, and Alex said the same thing. Is it because they did that and Tony Khan thinks he's hot shit now? No, that shouldn't be. You know, that shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't put effort into your product. What it should be doing is giving you motivation to do better. That's what it should be doing. But because of the fact that you did that, now all of a sudden you're complacent, like you're satisfied. Like you're basically saying, hey, we broke the actual record, the attendance record, and nobody can take that away from us. Even if we go out of business in a few years, nobody can take that away from us. And I could, if I go over to WWE, I could shove it in Triple H's face. It's like, no. No, what that should do is motivate you to do better, to make your product better, make it watchable, make it to where people want to sell out, on a weekly basis, Dynamite and Rampage and Collision, and even Ring of Honor. Make it to where people want to be there. They want to stay to the very last match. Don't make it to where it's just match after match after match and there's no substance outside of a few, things here and there. Put effort into it. Show that you want to be number one. Because if not, like I said, people would rather be watching on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on VENMO, on Twitter X. They'd rather be watching CAW leagues, creative wrestling leagues, over what AEW is doing right now. And that is a fact. That is a fact. I don't think anybody watching would deny. So if AEW doesn't want to have to be known as the company that lost viewership, in attendance, mostly viewership, to not just WWE, but they lost viewership numbers to YouTube and Twitch and VENMO and Facebook and Twitter because people would rather be watching CAW, creative wrestling leagues, over them. If they don't want that, they need to get their act together. They need to get their act together, and that's a fact. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm right about that? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Support me at the areas that you see in the description. But guys, give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you, and I am out.